welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a truly chilling tale for you, a first-hand account that dives deep into the realm of the unexplained and the downright terrifying. Our storyteller sought solitude in the vast Arizona desert, a peaceful escape that quickly devolved into a nightmare. Imagine the isolation, the silence broken only by the howling wind, and then, the inexplicable. Goats vanishing, drained of blood, with no earthly predator in sight. The whispers start, the local legend resurfaces, El Chupacabras. Our narrator, a skeptic at first, soon finds himself face to face with a creature ripped straight from folklore. Get ready to hear about a terrifying encounter, a desperate attempt to trap the unseeable, and a chilling realization that some nightmares don't stay confined to desolate landscapes. Buckle up, because this story, I Saw El Chupacabras, will leave you questioning what lurks just beyond the edge of our understanding. Let's dive in.
The desert wind howled like a banshee, clawing at the corrugated metal roof of my shack. Inside, I huddled deeper into my threadbare sleeping bag, the chill seeping into my bones despite the 3 layers of flannel I wore. Outside, the darkness was absolute, broken only by the skeletal silhouettes of saguaros against the faint starlight. This was my life, solitude, punctuated by the gnawing fear that had become my constant companion since the goats started dying. I wasn't a rancher, not really. I inherited this patch of sun-baked land in Arizona from my grandfather, a man I barely knew. He was a recluse, they said, obsessed with, well, I never really figured out what. After he passed, I came out here looking for peace, for an escape from the soul-crushing monotony of city life. I bought a small herd of goats with what little money I had left. They were supposed to be my livelihood, my companions in this desolate landscape. Now, they were just fuel for my nightmares. It started subtly. One morning, I found a goat dead, lying on its side, completely drained of blood. No struggle, no signs of a predator attack, just a perfectly clean puncture wound on its neck. I chalked it up to a mountain lion, a particularly efficient one. But then it happened again. And again. Each time, the same gruesome scene. The lifeless body, the single wound, the utter lack of blood. The local authorities were useless. Coyotes, they'd say, shrugging, even though I pointed out the utter impossibility of coyotes performing such surgical precision. Then the whispers started in the small town nearby. Whispers of the goat sucker. I scoffed. A mythical goat sucker? Ridiculous. But the fear was contagious, and soon, I found myself listening to the wind, scanning the shadows, my rifle always within reach. I tried everything. I reinforced the fence around the goat pen, strung up motion sensor lights powered by a rickety generator, even slept outside with the herd, my rifle clutched in my sweaty hands. Nothing worked. The attacks continued, silent and unseen, like a phantom preying on my livelihood and my sanity. One night, driven to the edge of desperation, I decided to set a trap. I laced a dead goat with a potent tranquilizer, a concoction I'd picked up from a shady character at a truck stop known for its less-than-legal remedies. It was a long shot, I knew, but I was running out of options. I dragged the carcass into the center of the pen, hidden beneath a tarp, and retreated to my shack, my heart pounding against my ribs. The hours crawled by. The wind howled, the coyotes yipped in the distance, and the generator sputtered and coughed, threatening to plunge the whole area into darkness. I sat by the window, my eyes glued to the goat pen, my rifle resting on my lap. Then, it happened. The motion sensor lights flickered on, bathing the pen in an eerie, artificial glow. My heart leapt into my throat. Something was moving, a dark shape silhouetted against the fence. It was smaller than a bear, but larger than a coyote. It moved with an unnatural grace, a fluidity that sent shivers down my spine. It stopped near the tarp-covered goat, its head cocked to one side, as if listening. Then, with a swift, almost casual movement, it ripped the tarp away. I could see it clearly now, bathed in the harsh light. It wasn't like anything I had ever seen, or even imagined. It was bipedal, its skin a leathery gray-green, stretched taut over a wiry frame. Its eyes were large and red, glowing with an unnerving intelligence. And along its back, running from its head to its tail, were rows of sharp, bony spines that shimmered in the light. El Chupacabras. It bent down to the carcass, its long, clawed fingers tearing into the flesh. I watched, paralyzed with fear, as it began to feed. I knew I should shoot, knew I should defend my property, my livelihood, but I couldn't move. The creature was mesmerizing, terrifying, an embodiment of the nightmares that had haunted me for weeks. After what seemed like an eternity, it finished feeding. It lifted its head, its glowing red eyes locking onto mine. It was as if it knew I was there, watching. A low growl rumbled in its chest, a sound that resonated deep within me, stirring something primal and ancient. Then, it did something I didn't expect. It didn't attack, it didn't charge, it simply turned and walked away, disappearing into the darkness beyond the fence. I sat there for a long time, my body trembling, my mind reeling. I had seen it. I had seen El Chupacabras. It wasn't a myth, a legend, a figment of overactive imaginations. It was real. The next morning, I cautiously approached the goat pen. The tranquilized carcass was gone, vanished without a trace. There were no tracks, no signs of a struggle, just the lingering scent of something, acrid, metallic. I felt a strange mix of fear and something else. Curiosity? Fascination? The creature had left me alive. Why? What did it want? I decided I couldn't stay here anymore. This place was cursed, haunted by something ancient and unknowable. I packed my meager belongings, loaded them into my truck, and prepared to leave. But as I drove away, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I glanced in my rearview mirror and saw something standing silhouetted against the rising sun. It was too far away to make out details, but I knew what it was. El Chupacabras. It was watching me go, its red eyes burning into my soul. I drove faster, desperate to put distance between myself and that place, that creature. But I knew, deep down, that I would never truly escape it. It would always be there, lurking in the shadows, a reminder of the darkness that exists just beyond the edge of our perception. Years passed. I tried to forget, to bury the memory of that night in the desert. I moved back to the city, got a job, tried to live a normal life. But the dreams persisted, dreams of glowing red eyes, leathery skin, and the haunting growl that resonated in my bones. One night, I woke to a scratching at my window. City noises were common, but this was deliberate, insistent. My blood ran cold. I peered through the blinds, my heart hammering against my ribs. In the dim glow of the streetlights, I saw it. The leathery gray-green skin, the red, intelligent eyes fixed on mine. Along its back, the rows of sharp, bony spines shimmered. It had followed me, a silent scream caught in my throat. The city, my supposed sanctuary, offered no escape. It knew where I was. It had come for me. The scratching intensified, the glass beginning to groan under the unnatural pressure. The horror I had felt in the desert, the paralyzing fear, returned tenfold, amplified by the realization that this nightmare wasn't confined to that desolate landscape. It had tracked me, a relentless predator, and now it was at my door. The darkness beyond my window was no longer empty. It held a terror I could never outrun.
All right, everyone, that was his encounter with something he still struggled to fully comprehend. Looking back, the logical part of his brain screamed hallucination, the product of isolation and fear. But the memory, the visceral feeling of seeing that creature, the chilling intensity of those red eyes, it was all too real. What did it all mean? He honestly didn't know. Maybe there were things out there, lurking in the fringes of our world, that science couldn't explain. Maybe the legends dismissed as folklore held a grain of terrifying truth. Or perhaps, the vast emptiness of the desert could play tricks on a lonely mind, conjuring monsters from the dust and shadows. The experience changed him. It shattered his naive notion of a predictable world. The fear felt in that desolate shack followed him, a constant shadow in the supposed safety of the city. And the final visit, that cemented the fact that some encounters leave scars that no distance can erase. So, what was the takeaway here? Maybe it was a reminder that the world was a far stranger place than often acknowledged. Maybe it was a cautionary tale about seeking solace in isolation. Or maybe, it was just a bizarre story from a guy who spent too much time alone in the Arizona desert. Whatever anyone made of it, one thing was for sure, he saw something that night. And whatever it was, it saw him too. Until next time, sweet dreams and sleep tight. If you can. You never know what might be scratching at your window. Hey, horror fans. If you enjoyed our chilling tale and want to keep the spine-tingling stories coming, don't forget to hit that like button. Your support keeps the darkness alive. Share this video with your friends. Let's spread the fear together. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a hair-raising moment. Join our community of thrill seekers and prepare for more eerie adventures. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay scared.